And we continue at 2:06 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wangs in Culver City.
Well, John, we started the show by talking about that massive homeless encampment with a barbecue pit and a tennis court in Koreatown. Richard writes in at johnnydontlikeshow@gmail.com. Hey, guys, this is nothing new for the great area of Koreatown. The last project I did there, the homeless turned my porta potty into a bordello offering $5 you-know-whats, and when I put a stop to it, they literally lit it on fire.
I thought there was a specific street in downtown L.A. where that happened.
Typically, it's Figueroa. And then he actually sent us the picture of the porta potty on fire.
That's attractive. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. Randy, I know the week is almost over, but we still have time to open up the California Crime Blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And the first edition takes us to the city of Oakland.
Oakland, you say?
I said, hell no, baby boy. Let me get up on out of here.
And that's because in Oakland, it looks like the shop owners have had enough because two employees of a pawn shop cash for gold store in East Oakland off of Hagenberger opened fire on the armed robbers that were trying to rob the joint.
We told you this would happen. If the cops don't want vigilantes fighting back, then they need to do their job and they need to stop the crime. If they're going to allow the crime to occur and then tell you to go fill out a form online and file a claim with your insurance company, at some point, someone's not going to put up with it.
For more, here's KPIX.
We begin in Oakland with a deadly shootout between store employees and thieves trying to rob them. The gun battle taking place at the Cash for Gold store on International Boulevard, East Oakland, just west of Hagenberger Road and less than a mile from the Coliseum.
Can I get an assist there, Gavin?
The gun battle taking place at the Cash for Gold store on International Boulevard, East Oakland, just west of Hagenberger Road and less than...
Thanks, Gavin.
See, it's not just Shane that can get the assists.
Two of the suspects are dead. Several others were rushed to the hospital, and the surviving suspects have been booked on murder charges.
Yes, I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you commit an armed robbery and your co-conspirators get shot dead, you're the ones that get charged with murder.
Oh, I bet that guy didn't factor that in.
Kevin Coe has new information from police and heard from the owner of a neighboring business who says, "We need help."
Gunfire erupting right behind me last night here in East Oakland on International Boulevard after 5 suspects walked right into Eddie's Cash for Gold. Police acknowledge the workers were defending themselves, but there is a possibility they could be charged as well.
No.
Under Pamela Price, they almost certainly would have been charged. But under the new DA, that would be a big, big, big mistake.
Quite frankly.
Nobody knows when it's going to happen, but it does happen over here a lot. From breaking into stores, what happened last night, to breaking into vehicles.
Business owner.
The soundtrack of Oakland is pop, pop, pop.
Pop, 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 pop.
Business owner Avraham Halwani works right by Eddie's Cash for Gold pawn shop, where Oakland police say 5 masked men walked in at around 7:45 p.m.
What do you think the day in the life of someone who operates an East Oakland pawn shop is like?
Probably something similar to this all the time.
Where Oakland police say 5 masked men walked in at around 7:45 p.m. Wednesday.
Some of these robbers were armed with firearms. The employees likewise armed themselves.
You know who usually has guns? Pawn shops.
Yeah, I wouldn't walk into one of those shops assuming that the guy behind the counter wasn't carrying a piece or 10.
Usually when the criminal needs to make bail, they pawn their firearms.
And an exchange of gunfire occurred between the two parties.
2 of the suspects were killed, while 3 others were shot, including a 17-year-old. Police say all 5 suspects...
Oh, great. So the jackass armed robbers had a juvenile with them, of course.
How in the world can they even consider charging the shopkeeper with a crime? 5 armed masked men go into the shop to rob him, and he's the bad guy?
There's no way.
Police say all 5.
You want to cause an international incident? Go after the store owners that were defending their lives.
I can't believe that these idiots are even kicking tires on that.
Police say all 5 suspects were from Stockton.
I wonder if they cheer for the ports.
One of the workers was shot and is expected to be okay. The surviving suspects were booked on suspicion of murder and attempted robbery.
Due to the violence and the intent of the robbers in initiating this crime and the subsequent deaths, the suspects have been booked on those charges.
It's still unclear who shot who and who.
Well, do you think the robbers shot each other?
They would really have to be remedial to do that.
It's still unclear who shot who and who opened fire first. The police chief says the employees are not in custody, and it will be up to the district attorney's office to decide if they face any charges.
Yeah, there's no way the new DA is going to do that. Otherwise,
no, even in Alameda County, I think if you charge this guy with a crime, you'd be booted out of office too.
Based on the investigation, they're cooperating with us right now. That's why they have not been charged. But again, the DA is going to look at every bit of this case and determine if any lesser charges will go against the owners. Or
these people should be hailed as heroes.
How often do we do crime stories in Oakland where no one gets charged with anything? Street takeovers, looting, whatever. And now they're seriously considering bringing charges against this guy?
The owners or the operators of that business or elevated charges.
Whether the workers were authorized to carry weapons will be part of the police investigation. But Chief Mitchell addressed the...
I mean, you operate a pawn shop. Of course you're armed.
In one of the most dangerous cities in all of America, where the government doesn't do anything that they're supposed to do.
In one of the most dangerous neighborhoods of that dangerous city. This was off Hagenberger.
But Chief Mitchell...
Gee, I wonder why all the sports teams fled the Coliseum in the last 10 years.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
But Chief Mitchell addressed the issue of business owners arming themselves for protection.
I don't want anyone to think that we're in a place to where we want our community to become vigilantes.
Really?
When you tell people to fill out a form online and that a black and white won't be coming over when they're the victim of a crime, that's what you end up with.
When you complain that you're so severely understaffed you cannot deal with most of the crime that occurs, what do you think people are going to do? How many police academies are going to solve the staffing crisis? It's not going to happen. There's so much attrition going on. People feel helpless. The CHP surge only helps some. People need to defend themselves when they know that law enforcement does not have the ability to help them.
Bingo.
I don't want anyone to think that we're in a place to where we want our community to become vigilantes.
The shooting comes less than a week after 6 people were shot in multiple shootings north of downtown.
It's been a very, very, very bullet-filled week in Oakland.
It's becoming our own Chicago.
Despite the recent violence, Chief Mitchell says the overall numbers are still promising for Oakland.
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. You don't I mean, this guy is not the brightest. He needed to take a whole bunch of tests when he got hired out of Lubbock because he actually didn't qualify to be a police chief. But this was the guy that was dumb enough to say yes to this job. But
wait, wasn't he hired by Shang?
Yes. After a year and a half of no police chief.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, if he has Shang's blessing, I mean, come on.
And so far, all we've seen from Floyd Mitchell is he likes to go on the TV after report of crime after crime after crime and say, crime is down.
It is working. It's going to take time. You're going to have these incidents that we've experienced over the last couple of weeks. But
you're going to see 6 shootings in a row in one night in Uptown over and over again. But don't you worry, crime is down.
He acts like this is a car that's parked illegally or something.
It is working. It's going to take time.
This is what he has to say. He is a hired police chief by the mayor, not the current mayor, but if he does anything to piss her off, he'll be fired too.
Okay, I was giving this guy a chance because I didn't know much about him, and Oakland needed a police chief badly. He's got to go. They need to find someone new. Not that Barbara Lee has any better judgment than Cheng, but I've seen enough with him.
Here's the problem. This is Oakland. If you get rid of him, you're going to have no police chief for another year and a half.
That's true.
It is working. It's going to take time. You're going to have these incidents that we've experienced over the last couple of weeks. But when you look at it collectively over the last 18 months, almost 2 years, you're looking at double-digit reductions in violent crime across the city.
But
you understand that 10% reductions from 2024 to 2025 doesn't mean anything, right?
Well, he's responding to a story of 5 armed men being involved in a shootout with a shopkeeper while they're trying to rob him. And he's at the press conference trying to tell you that Oakland is safe and that crime is down.
But as a business owner, Abraham feels it's not enough and thinks OPD needs more help.
We do need the National Guard, some sort of help. I'm not saying they need to be here permanently. We do need extra help.
I would love to see an unbiased poll of Oaklanders if they want Gavin or the president to send in the National Guard to Oakland.
Well, according to the mayor, crime is down. According to the police chief, crime is down. According to Gavin, crime is down. And Trump is the only one saying these cities are war zones.
So if the National Guard, the Highway Patrol, whoever has to come down.
Mayor Barbara Lee released a statement on the shootout saying, while this tragic event highlights the broader regional challenges we face, it also underscores our commitment to protecting Oakland's residents.
What commitment?
There is no commitment. No cops were there. It was 5 armed masked men and a shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper had to defend himself.
The reason there were 3 arrests of the 5 people is because they were on the floor bleeding.
Workers and business owners who deserve to be safe and feel safe in their own community. And a closer look at those crime numbers the chief referenced, according to data released by OPD last Sunday, violent crime is down 26% compared to 2024. Robberies are down 40%.
Who is buying that BS?
And I think it was Megyn Kelly on this program earlier this week said, well, okay, let's say I weighed 350 pounds and I lost 50 pounds and I was bragging about how much weight I lost. I'm still 300 pounds.
That's Oakland.
All right, Randy, let's reopen the blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And this next edition takes us to Pittsburgh without the H.
Pittsburgh, California, where a home invasion robbery turned into an unexpected surprise for the responding officers. Here's NBC in the Bay.
A call for help for one crime led Pittsburgh PD to discover another. This started early this morning when police responded to a possible home invasion. But when they got there, they discovered a dangerous drug house. NBC Bay Area's Jody Hernandez joins us from Pittsburgh with the very latest. Jody.
You know, it's the unfortunate reality. If you're using your home to commit crimes and you become the victim of a crime, you might not want to call the cops.
If you call 911, the jig is up.
Pittsburgh police say it all started at 6 a.m. when 3 men broke into this house and held the man who lives here at gunpoint. But when police arrived, they discovered much more was going on here.
Well, it's not right. I mean, It's not right, especially in a neighborhood like this.
That's how folks who live on Redondo Drive in Pittsburgh are reacting after police swarmed their street this morning, responding to a home invasion call at their neighbor's house.
He said they had a gun to his head?
Yes. The 3 people is come in the house.
A man who didn't want to be seen on camera describes the terrifying home invasion his friend experienced. Police say the suspect stole weapons and cash, then took off in the man's car. But they say they soon discovered something else inside, an illegal and dangerous marijuana grow operation.
Uh-oh.
I love the fact that everyone involved in this story is a dirtbag.
There are no residential grows that are legal in the state of California.
While the California Department of Cannabis Control was not involved in today's incident, they say Contra Costa County is...
Figure, we'll seize his pot another day. He's had a bad day. They stole his car, they stole his cash, they stole his guns.
They say Contra Costa County is a hotbed for residential marijuana grows. They've raided 150 operations in the last 3 years, most of them tied to Chinese organized crime.
Wait, the Chinese mafia is running all the grow houses in Contra Costa County?
How did no one in the neighborhood know this was going on? Or do you think that they did and they just kept quiet about it?
Chinese organized crime and the Chinese money laundering networks dominate the illicit cannabis market across the United States and in California specifically.
Did you know that?
No, but if it's a Chinese operation run from China, my guess is a bunch of them are illegals. Can we go deport them all?
No, we can't do that. This is California. We're a sanctuary state.
Pittsburgh police confirmed they're investigating possible ties to Chinese crime organizations in this case as well. Pittsburgh code enforcement also red tagged the home because of dangerous grow conditions.
Uh-oh.
What was it that was the final straw for the state of California? Were they using banned pesticides?
The state says banned pesticides.
There you go. Just call me Nostradamus.
I guess it wasn't organic weed.
The state says banned pesticides, mold, and illegal wiring are common at residential indoor grows.
Electrical will be modified, plumbing will be modified, ventilation will be modified. Often the rooms, all the windows are covered on the inside.
Neighbors say they're relieved the danger has been uncovered and will be cleared out.
I'm glad they found it, and if that's what's going on, get them out of here.
Pittsburgh police declined to talk on camera. It's unclear whether there have been any arrests yet. In Pittsburgh, Jody Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News.
So there you go. A home invasion robbery turns into the discovery of a massive illegal grow operation in Pittsburgh, California.
You know what's funny is I have a friend who bought one of those homes, and it was operated by the Chinese, and it was a grow house, and he got the home at a value because the home was a mess. They turned it into essentially a weed factory. And no one was ever caught.
Here's a fun thought experiment. If we actually enforced our marijuana laws and we got rid of all the illegal grow houses, would we still have a housing crisis?
Well, that remains to be seen. When my friend bought the house, here's another wrinkle to this story. After escrow was closed and he moved in, the buyer still came by knocking on the door asking for the marijuana. And he would have to tell each and every one of them that he's the new owner and the old people are gone. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, with the end of the show quickly approaching, if you're staring a long car ride in the face and you want something to listen to, why not listen to us?
Just search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's the Apple Podcasts app, iHeart, Spotify. Search for The John Phillips Show. Hit subscribe. You can download all the episodes. You can do a Google on the YouTube. You can get the KABC app. You can get the KSFO app. It is the perfect place to get all of your newses.
I listen to all the newses.
And a week from today, we're going on the road.
Mark your calendars, Friday, September 19th from noon to 3. It's a live broadcast of the John Phillips Show in Sherman Oaks at the Pineapple Hill Saloon off of Van Nuys Boulevard in between Moore Park and Millbank in that same parking structure, in that same strip mall as that In-N-Out Burger on the other side of the street from that Gelson's and the Best Buy. You know exactly where the Pineapple Hill is. It's a legendary spot in the valley. We're going to be there on that beautiful outdoor back patio, covered back patio, from noon to 3. So we want you to come join us, have lunch, have a drink or two. And we're going to have special guests like Susan Shelley from the Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association, because California is trying to make it easier to raise your property taxes. So come on down and sign the petition to save Prop 13. That's the John Phillips Show live at Pineapple Hill next Friday from noon to 3.
Let's go to Harry in Woodland Hills. Harry, hello.
First of all, really enjoy your talent, and thank you for saving AM radio. And I have an idea about Mr. Caruso declaring his run for governor. I would say that there's 3 or 4 parties in California. One would be the Republican, the other may be Libertarian, and then we have the anti-Trumpism party, and I think Mr. Caruso should run for the Californian party. That's my comment. Thanks, guys. You're great.
Thank you for the call. Create a new party. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Randy, there is something similar to that in the state of Alaska. They have the Alaska Independence Party.
And what's the platform of that? More oil checks?
I have no idea. Salmon for dinner every Tuesday.
Is that party pro-cruise ship or anti-cruise ship? Because I heard some of the locals are getting sick of the cruises.
Well, partially true. They're sick of Carnival. There's a big difference between Carnival and the rest of them.
Are you saying that the clientele that goes on a Carnival cruise to Alaska isn't really the kind of people that the state of Alaska wants?
If you've ever seen a chaotic brawl on a cruise ship end up on YouTube, I can almost guarantee you it was a Carnival ship. Let's go to Robert in Santa Clara. Robert, hello.
Hi, guys. You had a guy earlier who was talking about the kind of like Republican strategies to beat Gavin Newsom. Well, I think maybe one of the hills that they could die on is this Social Security. Some people got to cut the SSI, and some people got to raise. They got to clear this up, because the way I'm looking at it, Trump had to get his tax cuts through. It's like 3D chess. You got to get that across the line, because you'd have like an Obama death tax of like almost 31% that would return, and other things that are really bad. They got to do this, because now you got Democrats on the Hill saying, you got to get this stuff rolled back. We'll roll it back. And another thing they should do is start working on a work visa program and beat the Democrats to that, because, a lot of these, you talk about, I've heard you use this language before, highfalutin liberal ideas, but some of this stuff is a little highfalutin conservative ideas. We got to meet in the middle, so that, because they're going to run with this. People are not happy with SSI cuts. It's the extra red tape. You got Mehmet Oz talking about an app. I mean, we really they got to wake up. You can't socially engineer the 20, these guys who don't want to work 20 hours a week. And me as an employer, as a supervisor, I don't want the bums coming to ask me for 20 hours a week so they can get their benefits. You know what I'm saying? They got to get the message out there that Mayorkas put too many people in this country with Harris. We can't keep everyone, but we also have to reach out a lot of, olive branches and things that are going to make them look a little bit more reasonable and compassionate, or else Newsom is going to run with it and make the Republicans look like he's a meanie. I mean, that's not going to work, because he'll win that. He's going to get Becerra, or what is it? The other guy, not Villaraigosa, but his buddy Padilla, to get elected as governor. You'll get a Latino guy who they'll never fix the problems here, though, and he'll appoint him as senator, and then he'll run for president looking like a more noble guy when we know he's a scumbag.
All right, thank you for the call, sir.
We went in a lot of different directions there.
Yeah, and he cited me for saying 2 different things that I don't think I ever said. Now, in his defense, I rarely remember what I said.
What are the other shows that are on in this time slot on different stations?
Maybe Hannity said it. I don't know. Have you ever heard me use the phrase highfalutin?
Not once. And I have worked with you every day for over 5 years.
I mean, I do use some old-timey phrases, but not that one.
No, that's not a phrase that you would use. Yum yum number 2, that's a phrase you would use.
Well, that's not a phrase I would use. That's an establishment I'm citing. It's across the street from the mayor's business. All right, let's open up the crime blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And Randy, we're in luck because we have an Ed Laskos edition.
And I have to apologize because apparently on the cut sheet, I did not specifically say Ed Laskos. I said Ed. And so when you read the cut sheet, you thought it said ED food truck stolen.
Yeah, I thought, what does erectile dysfunction have to do with this?
And it's on, like Donkey Kong.
Ed Laskos covers a lady getting her food truck stolen. Let's go to Fox 11 in Los Angeles.
Tonight, her livelihood stolen. Her stolen food truck with food, equipment, and money was feared forever gone. But we do have some good news tonight. Fox 11's Ed Laskos, he's live in Mission Hills with this update for us. Ed?
And Marlo, you've got this longtime street vendor, and she at one point was saying it's a real nightmare. She has her white van. It's loaded up with most of her cooking equipment.
Okay, that's not a food truck.
Well, if it's a white van with no windows, it could be Jared from Subway.
That's a truck full of equipment to sell tamales on the side of the road. Nothing wrong with that, but that's not a food truck.
No.
There's no funny pun on the side of it. There's no artwork or menu board. Not a food truck.
Probably a dent or two.
And Marlo, you've got this longtime street vendor, and she at one point was saying it's a real nightmare. She has her white van. It's loaded up with most of her cooking equipment. She looks out her window.
You know, if you drive near the post office on Haskell and Sherman Way, right where the 405 is, every weekend there's all these different food stands, and some of them are selling tamales, and some of them are selling agua frescas, and there's one stand that in the middle of summer is selling menudo. Who's buying that?
Okay, I am not a picky eater at all. The list of foods that I don't like is extremely small. Carrots are at the top of the list. One food that I despise, and I mean despise, is menudo. I don't like the taste. I can't even handle the smell. I don't even listen to any music from the band.
How do you feel about menudo that's prepared on the side of the road near a freeway?
Ugh.
I always found that one a little strange.
And she sees it being driven away, stolen, thousands of dollars worth of equipment stolen. That was Tuesday night. Now tonight, she's back in business. Watch. Cooking up the pork.
What, is she cooking it on the radiator?
Cooking up the pork and dishing out the burritos as Betty's taco stand is back up and open. If the immigration raids are not bad enough for business, scaring off the customers, having most of your cooking supplies stolen is a real nightmare.
Well, she now has two problems because Ed just tipped off the world that she's illegal.
I don't know if he tipped off that she's illegal or most of her clientele were. I mean, there are plenty of people who live in Mission Hills that are in this country legally that like burritos.
Okay. So let's just say that he was referring to all of her customers, and now the feds know that every single customer of this woman is here illegally. You think that's attention she wants?
All the economy is very slow right now for us. There's no people coming out to buy tacos and everything, and then just lost everything. It was very sad for me.
It's so bad people are choosing Taco Bell over her.
Drop the chalupa.
being in this what is
a nightmare.
A nightmare, yeah.
That nightmare starts last Tuesday in Arleta. That's Betty's van there, the white one. It's being driven off, stolen, and the van's loaded with Betty's cooking equipment. It's worth thousands.
But they just took like canopies, propane gas, and generator, but most of the important things to work.
So Betty works social media, sending out text, and you know what? Somebody spots that stolen van at this motel on Sepulveda in North Hills.
I found a guy on Sepulveda trying to make birria, and he didn't know what he was doing, so we figured it was your stolen van.
I'm surprised with all of those things that she had in that van that could go boom, that van was found in one piece.
It's one of the things that's not really talked about in the world of street vending and all the hot dog carts that are outside of the Hollywood Bowl and what have you, is just how many propane tanks are sitting out there with equipment that nobody is actually regulating.
No. If you have a business that has a business license associated with it, the public health department has to come in and inspect. You have to pay all kinds of fees. You have to jump through all kinds of hoops. Everything has to be ADA compliant. And then you have people who have no business licenses at all cooking pork on a bomb.
So what you're saying is Barbara Ferrer should have to try that birria before anyone sells it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If we need a guinea pig, that guinea pig is her.
Yeah. Babs, I hope you like menudo.
LAPD rushes in, lights and sirens, and that van jacker's caught with her hands up.
It was a woman.
A woman car thief.
Van thief.
Wow, I guess that's what we call equality.
Pues muy contento porque
he's really thankful and grateful, that he got his van back, he's getting back to work, and that he's thankful with the people, that helped to get it back.
From the cook to even Betty herself saying their prayers were certainly answered on this one.
Yeah, it was less because most of their stuff is like, you will be losing like $5,000 there with all the equipment. But like I said,
she's got to have a deep fryer. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was very happy to get it back.
And now live happiness. Betty saying it in the end, it's really a nightmare because think about it. She's a single mom. She has 3 children to support, and that business, that food truck business, that's
not a food truck. Nothing wrong with it, but it's a big difference between a food truck and a van that has a tent.
A very liberal use of the term.
That's her lifeline. So in the end, it does have a happy ending, huh? For now, we're live, Mission Hills. Back to the west side we go.
There is the latest on what happened to the van.
So she's a struggling single parent with nothing but a van. She's the female Tony Danza on Who's the Boss. Let's hope none of her kids turn out like Alyssa Milano. And Randy, I think we have time for one more addition to the blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
This edition takes us to Milpitas,
where once again we've got a case of people that don't take kindly to getting robbed, and they're fighting back. Here's NBC in the Bay.
Let's move on now. A violent attack in the South Bay. Armed and masked vandals storm into a Milpitas shopping center in a brazen attempt to rob a jewelry store. Similar robberies in the Bay Area have ended with people getting hurt. In this case, the store owner fought back by firing a gun, scaring those people away. Here's NBC's Jocelyn Moran.
I guess the vigilantes are also in Milpitas.
How would you like to be in a plane over that jewelry store?
This is the aftermath left behind after several suspects tried to force their way into fine jewelry in Milpitas. Surveillance video shows at least 8 people masked and wearing hoodies run into a Milpitas shopping center. 2 of them start using tools to smash the glass windows and doors.
Oh, you got to get that smash-proof glass.
Yeah, they have those at the kiosks at the mall, and it seems to really work.
Police say the owner and an employee were inside, and the owner fought back, firing a gun they own legally. After that, you can see the suspects quickly run off without ever getting inside. Family of the owner.
Just going to have to start putting little stickers in front of every single establishment robbers will be shot on sight.
We really are going to be the Wild Wild West.
Family of the owners tell us the store was robbed 2 years ago, and that time the thieves did get away with jewelry. The owners did not want to go on camera, but the mayor of Milpitas says she was able to talk with them.
She's traumatized, but she said she was going to probably close her business and move somewhere else. She didn't say where.
Better public safety. Better public safety.
This attempted robbery comes a day after South Bay elected officials held a news conference calling for change after a smash-and-grab robbery in San Jose, where more than 15 suspects stormed a jewelry store and pushed the 88-year-old owner to the ground.
That was the case in San Jose, where the owner of that store, after getting shoved to the ground violently, suffered a stroke.
And this is what they want you to do. They want you to just take it, and people aren't going to do that. People have had enough. And they can fix it if they bring public safety back to California. But at this point, they refuse to do that.